Geneva, Russia and Ukraine sit down for high-stakes talks in Geneva on Thursday, seeking to ease the crisis in the former Soviet Republic after the U.S. warned Moscow it must make concessions or face fresh sanctions. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is due to meet his Ukrainian, U.S. and EU counterparts just as pro-Kremlin militants, whom Kiev says are backed by Moscow, consolidate their takeover of parts of Ukraine's southeastern industrial heartland. The crunch talks come after a military operation ordered by Kiev to oust the separatists collapsed, with militants showing no sign of budging and even humiliating the government by seizing army vehicles originally dispatched to clear them out. As tension simmered, NATO announced that it is deploying more forces in Eastern Europe, and called for Russia to stop destabilising Ukraine, which has been in deep turmoil since the ouster of pro-Kremlin President Viktor Yanukovych in February. Will diplomacy win? But all eyes are now on whether diplomacy can save the day at the talks between Lavrov, Ukraine's Andriy Yermak, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and EU Foreign Policy Chief Catherine Ashton. It has been difficult to get real dialogue going between Russia and Ukraine, the U.S. State Department official, who wished to remain anonymous, told reporters late on Wednesday. Washington and Kiev's priorities at the talks include trying to get Russia to demobilize the militias, despite the fact that Moscow denies any links to them. The United States and European Union have already imposed sanctions on key Russian and Ukrainian political and business officials, including members of President Vladimir Putin's inner circle. But if the meeting ends in failure, Western countries are prepared to flag Moscow with tougher, broader economic and financial sanctions meant to hurt its already struggling economy. White House spokesman Jay Carney said Wednesday that the U.S. was actively preparing new sanctions against Russia, with signs growing that Washington may be ready to target the country's key mining, energy and financial sectors. But U.S. officials privately signaled they had little hope that the Geneva talks would make significant progress. U.S. President Barack Obama meanwhile specifically accused Moscow of actively supporting separatist militias in southern and eastern Ukraine. Each time Russia takes these kinds of steps that are designed to destabilize Ukraine and violate their sovereignty, there are going to be consequences, Obama told CBS News. Minutes after landing in Geneva on Wednesday, Yermak called on Russia to stop supporting terrorist activities in the east. He also set out a string of other demands that will be difficult to meet, such as asking Moscow to confirm that Crimea, which it annexed last month, is an integral part of Ukraine. For its part, Russia's foreign ministry claimed Washington was backing Kiev's war on its own people in strident language that made any concession at the Geneva talks seem unlikely.